you said about this 60 millimeters and be in New York as a moment. So, but as far as I know, you spent much time in New York. How much time?
Yeah, I stayed. I worked in a Philippine newspaper for like 4 years. And then I got my family there while doing some films. And then I got my family. I went back to the country to make Filipino cinema. So, after 5 years in New York. But part of my life is still New York. I still go home there because of the kids.
You said it's really difficult. It was difficult to become a part of this movie community in the Philippines, but we don't know exactly too much about this film industry in the Philippines. Could you say something about it? How it was in
like I told you,
the past and now in contemporary times?
Well, we have a very rich cinema history. The first cinema in Southeast Asia is in the Philippines. British filmmakers, they went there, American filmmakers, they were doing films there in the early 20th century. So they introduced cinema to us and it became very rich. The first golden era of the Philippines was like in the 1930s up to the 1940s. Even during the Japanese times, there were a lot of Filipino cinema being done. So it crashed in the 80s. It crashed. So from 250 films a year, we have like 50 films a year. And then the digital age came, it became very dynamic again. Now there are a lot of movies everywhere. Every region in the country, there are a lot of movies being done.
But did you have some masters through these Philippines directors?
Oh yeah, we have. The first golden era, we have Jerry De Leon, Lamberto Abellano, they're great filmmakers. And during the second golden age, we have Dino Broca, Celso Castillo, Mario Hara, he just died last month. Mark De Leon, and of course the digital age, our age now.
And among the younger ones, do you create some kind of community of
we are very tight in Manila, so we have this community of filmmakers. We see each other a lot, we help each other. Yeah. Sometimes we fuck each other.
Some names?
Ryan Martin, John Torres, Kevin De La Cruz is here, he's showing one of his films also, and we're performing on the 27th also. We have a band, so please come.
Jeżeli Państwo macie jakieś pytania, to bardzo prosimy. Pan Diaz bardzo chętnie odpowie. In Century of Birthing, there is a really important sentence, I think. We will remember the world because of the cinema. Yeah. Could you agree with this?
Of course, that's my statement from the film. So yeah, much of what we remember of the world now is from the arts. You know, not just from cinema, from paintings, from photography. So we remember World War II, World War I because of photography, cinema. We can recreate our dreams, the past, everything from cinema. So cinema is such a powerful medium. I think it's the most powerful medium right now. But if we really use it well, you know, for culture.
Yeah. But you mean documentaries, first of all?
Everything, from fiction to documentary to avant-garde. We shouldn't, you know, it's like cinema is such vast, and at the same time, cinema is still very young. It's just 100 years, so new horizons will be discovered. So we can still push cinema towards greater heights.
But you can call cinema, I don't know, your new movie and also Harry Potter, so it's still...
Yeah, they're valid cinema. You can even go there at the center, go to other cinemas, so everything is valid. We just don't overdo it. Like, I think it's immoral for George Lucas to be, you know, selling, you know, all the Star Wars thing and get billions, you know. It's immoral. That's not cinema anymore. Yeah. Fuck George Lucas.
But do you go sometimes to the cinema to watch some new movies?
Of course, yeah.
What kind of movie you?
Everything. I watch everything. I don't discriminate. I watch everything.
Maybe George Lucas. You said that the digital revolution was really a revolution in the movie making, because of course it changed roles. But as far as I know, you had some experience with 35 millimeters, yeah?
Yeah, I've done 35 during the studio work. I just met a friend here and he said, yeah, we're gonna do 35. Yeah, we're gonna do 35. He's listening right now, he's around here. Yeah.
So, can you compare to these experiences?
The use of the medium is like a brush, you know. It's like a painter or like a guitar player, where you want a Fender or a Stratocaster. With the painter, it's, you know, you want a watercolor or an oil or anything. It's the same with cinema. It doesn't matter. It's just cinema.
But there is some difference, or there was some difference in
the difference would be for technical people, but in terms of aesthetics, it's zero. I tell you, it's zero. You can have a beautiful cinema by just using your cell phone. I can tell you that. I can assure you that. You can create great cinema by using a cell phone. Anything that has photography, that's cinema.
So
don't worry about it. It's like celluloid to digital to your cameras, to DSLRs. Everything now is cinema. It's just about aesthetics. It's about how you use it. It's also about responsibility for culture. Yeah.
But the visual quality can be different, really.
That's why. It's very subjective. If you look at cinema, it's very subjective.
It can be different, not worse.
Yeah, you can look at the very clean aesthetics of Hollywood as very dirty, as really immoral, but you can look at a high-8 shoot beautifully. It depends, man. It's very subjective. Art is very subjective. It's all about seeing. It's about looking. That's cinema.
Can you tell us something about the process of preparing your own movies? Because it's a mystery for me. How you write your screenplays? How the screenplays are really prepared?
During my early days, I prepared scripts, of course, because I'm not really confident. But right now, I look for the locations first, and we go there. And that's where I create the stories. And while we're shooting, it becomes very organic. While we're shooting and writing the scripts. So it's evolving, and we follow threads. We're not afraid to follow threads. Maybe we can follow this line of the story, then we go. There's no fear.
Yeah. Is it true that sometimes you write dialogues the day before shooting? Or?
Yeah, even during the shoot itself, like we can do that. Yeah. We can improvise and check the dialogues. You know.
So, how much the actors know about the movie, about the story, about the end of the movie?
Which one? Florentin Hovaldo? Which one?
No, your actors. How much do you know about the story?
I tell them the idea, and I ask them to help me create the character also. So we have this very collaborative, effort during the shoot. But at the same time, there are surprises also. I tell them maybe at some point, don't be surprised if we change the story, we change the character. Don't be surprised. So they're just ready for that. Yeah.
And you often use very long shots. Is it some kind of manifest of your own? I don't know.
I'm trying to avoid the convention, and at the same time, I'm very comfortable with that kind of framework. And also, I find it very truthful. Even for the actors, they find it very liberating to be acting within one frame. You don't do the cut-to-cuts. The kind of, shoot that you do in film school where you do everything. Close up, medium shot, full shot, tilt up, tilt down, pan, everything. Establishing shots, cut away to the birds. So there's a lot of shots and then throw it away to the editor. I don't do that anymore. I just want to be honest and truthful with the shot.
Proszę Państwa, cały czas przypominam, że możecie Państwo zadać pytania, bardzo prosimy. Jeżeli ktoś ma ochotę, if anyone wants to ask a question, just give us a sign. We have a microphone, please, here.
Hello. Is there any special character of Filipino films? Something that is different from the other countries in the world?
I think every character in the world is universal. If you watch a Filipino film, a Japanese film, an American film, or a Polish film, it's just the race. But if you dig to the character, we're all the same. We have the same struggles inside and outside. So it's very universal. You know, anything from emotion to intellect, everything is very universal. We're all the same. There's no color, there's no nothing. No. Thank you.
Bardzo prosimy. Some other questions? So talking about long shots, but also you use very often black and white images. Why?
I just love black and white. I grew up in black and white, watching a lot of black and whites. So my eyes, they were trained to watch black and white. And I want to go back to that, to the old word. It's a kind of rebirth thing. Every time I shoot a film, I want to be black and white. That kind of thing, that kind of attitude.
It's possible that you will make some color film in the future?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I'm not very dogmatic. I can do cut-to-cuts later, or fast films, fuck the long shots later, and it's okay, no problem. I can do color later, no problem.
So you also know dogmatic about using music in your movies. How it changed through all these years, because there is no traditional, almost no traditional music in your movies.
Yeah, I don't do soundtrack anymore, so whatever you hear in the film, it's what the camera cuts us, that's it.
You think music is disturbing the audience?
Not really, it's my kind of process. I respect people who put music there, because I'm a musician myself. I do soundtracks for other people. I respect them. It's just my process. It's my process, and it's my kind of film. So I love a lot of films. Plus this beautiful soundtracks also. Don't worry about it.
Proszę Państwa, cały czas czekamy na pytania. You said that there is nothing like some I know Filipinians character, because it's universal. But could you agree that in Philippines directors seem to be much more experimental than in the other side of the world?
I don't know, because I haven't seen a lot of cinemas outside of the world also, so I cannot discriminate on that. Yeah, so I think, we're the same.
And how strong your movies are connected to the Philippines' history or contemporary times and society problems? Could you say something about these connections?
Well, I'm a Filipino, so I cannot escape that. Every time I create a story, I always go back to the struggle of the people, I cannot escape that. I'm an honest artist, so I have to represent my own struggle, the struggle of the culture. I have to share our experiences to you guys, the Filipino experience. I'm more comfortable with that. I cannot do a Polish film, I cannot do an American film, I think it would be dishonest. It would take a lot of research before I can do a film in Wrocław or in Warsaw, depicting World War II here. The Germans living in Wrocław, so it would be very hard. It would take a lot of research. It would be dishonest.